Hey everybody. I just wanted to bring up the topic of free will. Um, I am not really going to say too much on it, but I'm going to read a dialogue from the movie Waking Life, the part where the guy talks about free will and all that stuff. Um, Pretty much says everything that I want to say, but in a more intelligent manner. Um, Give me a response on what you think about free will. I don't know why, but when I watched this movie, when I saw this, I was like, wow. You know, I'm a very logical and rational thinker. Like, I don't really disregard too many things. And I was like, wow, this is a very good point. But anyways, I'll start reading it. I'm going to link that portion of the movie in the info, so you can click it and watch that little segment. It's really good. But okay, I'll read this for you. Hopefully I don't butcher any of the words, you know. Alright. Alright. In a way, in our contemporary worldview, it's easy to think that science has come to take the place of God. But some philosophical problems remain as troubling as ever. Take the problem of free will. This problem has been around for a long time, since before Aristotle in 350 BC, St. Augustine, St. Thomas Aquinas. These guys all worried about how we can be free if God already knows in advance everything you're going to do. I've thought about this a lot. Nowadays, we know that the world operates according to some fundamental physical laws, and these laws govern the behavior of every object in the world. Now, these laws, because they're so trustworthy, they enable incredible technological achievements. But look at yourself. We are just physical systems too, right? We're just complex arrangements of carbon molecules. We're mostly water, and our behavior isn't gonna be an exception to these basic physical laws. So it starts to look like whether it's God setting things up in advance and knowing everything you're going to do, or whether it's these basic physical laws governing everything. There's not a lot of room left for freedom. So now you might be tempted to just ignore the question, ignore the mystery of free will, say, oh well, it's just a historical anecdote, it's sophomoric, it's a question with no answer, just forget about it. But the question keeps staring you right in the face. You think about individuality, for example. Who you are is mostly a matter of free choices that you make, or take responsibility. You can only be held responsible, you can only be found guilty, or you can only be admired or respected for things you did of your own free will. So the question keeps coming back, and we do not really have a solution to it. It starts to look like all our decisions are really just a charade. Think about how it happens. There's some electrical activity in your brain. Your neurons fire. They send a signal down into your nervous system and out your arm. It looks like it's a free action on your part, but every one of those, every part of the process is actually governed by physical law, chemical laws, electrical laws, and so on. So now it just looks like the Big Bang set up the initial conditions, and the whole rest of human history, and even before, is really just the playing out of subatomic particles according to these basic fundamental physical laws. We think we are special, we think we have some kind of special dignity, but that now comes under threat. I mean, that's really challenged by this picture. So you might be saying, well, wait a minute, what about quantum mechanics? I know enough contemporary physical theory to know it's not really like that. It's really a probabilistic theory. There's room, it's loose, it's not deterministic, and that's going to enable us to understand free will. But if you look at the details, it's not really going to help, because what happens is you have some very small quantum particles, and their behavior is apparently a bit random. Bounce around, all that. They swerve, their behavior is absurd in the sense that it's unpredictable and we can't understand it based on anything that came before. It just does something out of the blue, according to a probabilistic framework. But is that going to help with freedom? I mean, should our freedom be just a matter of probabilities? Just some random swerving in a chaotic system? That starts to seem like it's worse. I'd rather be a gear in a big deterministic physical machine than just some random swerving. So we can't just ignore the problem. We have to find room in our contemporary worldview for persons with all that entails. Not just bodies, not just persons, not just bodies, but persons. And that means trying to solve the problem of freedom, finding room for choice and responsibility, and trying to understand individuality. That's the dialogue. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, Makes you think a little bit. If you didn't really grasp it from how I was reading it, I did make a couple mistakes, I guess, but I'll link it for you. If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest you do. I probably won't read any dialogues of any other parts of the movie. I think the whole movie was great, but some of it, like one part of it, I don't even know exactly what it is, but it takes a lot to grasp it. Like, it almost seems like the more you watch the movie, the more you grasp the concepts. I want to know your opinion on free will. Like I said, I'm very rational, I'm very logical, I do not disregard many things, so the Big Bang, we're just all playing out this subatomic particle energy, and what I'm doing right now is just a part of that, then so be it. I mean, I don't disregard it, I don't necessarily think it has to be true, but I don't disregard it. I thought it was pretty interesting. But yeah, throw me your opinion on this. And check out the movie. Free Will.